How do libertarians define persuasion versus coercion? Imagine trying to change someone's mind. Do you use a gentle argument or threaten them with consequences? That difference is at the heart of how libertarians see persuasion and coercion. Let's break it down. Coercion, in libertarian thinking, is when someone uses force or threats to make another person act against their will. It involves physically forcing someone or threatening to do so, like using violence or legal threats backed by the state. The core idea is that initiating force violates a person's right to self-ownership, which means they control their own body and choices. Libertarians believe that using force without consent is morally wrong because it violates the non-aggression principle. This principle says that initiating force against others is always wrong unless it's in self-defense. Now, persuasion is quite different. It's about influencing someone through voluntary means. This can be through logical arguments, incentives, or offering information. The key is that the person is free to accept or reject these influences. For example, offering a better product or explaining benefits is persuasion. Even if it creates pressure, like withholding affection or ending a voluntary agreement, it's not coercion if the other person can choose freely. The main difference hinges on whether the influence involves the legitimate right to carry out a threatened action. If the action is within someone's control, like ending a contract or refusing a request, then using that as an incentive is persuasion. Coercion only happens when force or threats are used to override someone's will without their consent. This distinction is vital because libertarians see coercion as morally illegitimate unless it's defensive. They argue that society should be based on voluntary interactions. Laws or government actions that force people to do things against their will are seen as unjustified. Instead, influence should come through persuasion, negotiation, and mutual agreement. This approach respects individual rights and self-ownership. To sum up, coercion is the initiation of force or threats to control someone's actions, which libertarians oppose unless it's for self-defense. Persuasion is voluntary influence through arguments or incentives, which is acceptable and encouraged. This clear line helps maintain a society where personal freedom and rights are protected, and interactions are based on mutual consent.